We're live. It says we're live. Woo! Woohoo! See, it just said something about stars. Did you see that?
Yeah. That's a special link
What is?
right there
Oh, it's a link that you share with your audience?
for stars.
Oh.
Oh, poop. I just opened up an application I didn't want.
Oh, Graham.
I'm trying to close applications. Susan's here.
Hello, hello.
We've got Chrissy Reed, Jane Husky.
Let me see who's joining us today. Yes, Susan and Christy and Jane and Christy. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining us. We're really glad you're here. JB is here. Pamela Fox Tavares. Hello, Pamela. That's a new name. Glad to have you. Glad to have you join us. We hope that you enjoy the 45 minutes to an hour time
Sometimes
we
a little
spend
more,
together. Right, right, right.
sometimes a little less.
Hello, Shannon. Good to see you here. I'm glad. It is 4:20ish tea and tarot, and we have taken a very big long break. And here we are back again with you, and we're so glad. Um, it was just needed a bit of a reset, a little bit more than we realized, huh?
Yeah.
When Grim and I really step back and think about how long it is that we've been running the Purple Door, and how long it is that we've participated in uh, uh, Tarot Tuesday, and when we consider how long we've been doing 420 Tea and Tarot, and just the different things that we do, we've really been at it for a number of years, kind of nonstop, huh?
We really have been.
Right. So we've taken a little bit of a hiatus, and we're glad that you're all here with us. Um, we're back, but we're not making promises that we're coming back with, like, the strength of Superman and Superwoman, and we're just gonna, charge forward. No, we're being very very cautious about where we spend our energy, and like many of you, we feel tired, don't we? We feel tired, and there's a lot going on, a lot of energy shifting. But as we were talking about in the Root and Read class that Grim and I have facilitate, there you go. Uh, Now is also a wonderful time to manifest. Um, Today, June 3rd, there's like 6 planets, don't ask me to name them, that are aligning themselves. This doesn't happen very often, so it shouldn't surprise you that it's, happening now, because we've had so many of those rare moments these past few years, and this is just another one of those astrological things. But regardless of what the planetary meanings, and I don't mean to uh, dismiss that or make it seem like it's not important, because it truly is. It's just that I am not as much into astrology as I am my own form of booga booga that I do. So
Can't master them all.
Can't master them all. That's very true. And I really wish that I could master astrology, but there's only certain things that stick, and then the other things it's kind of like math for me. Um, you guys know what
You
I'm talking about.
understand the importance, but no desire to master
No,
it.
it isn't. No, I
Not
have
even a
the.
desire. It's aptitude, not aptitude.
It's just it won't click in my brain.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Some things do, but that just really, really never has. Now, that doesn't mean that the messages don't click, and it doesn't mean that I don't follow astrology. I just don't. I'm just not an
The
astrologer.
mechanics of it aren't necessary
Right.
to get the message anyway.
Right. But what was my whole point behind that? There was a reason I was saying that in the first place.
Manifestation.
Oh, yeah. Aside from the point of whatever the planetary alignment might mean, And I know Susan sent me something on that, and I've had a few other people send me some things. But for me, the thing that sticks out more than anything, being the ish witch that I am, is, a lot of times we wait for our ducks to be in a row. We wait for our ducks to be in a row. Well, here is a unique planetary alignment, a time when our proverbial ducks are, or a lot of them are in a row. So take advantage of this, the positivity that flows from those words, and take the time to manifest things in your life right now. I know a lot of us are feeling tired. We mentioned that earlier, although I know a lot of us are feeling, some of us have health issues going on.
On an energetic level, our bodies recognize when we're coming into this change of season. So when we go into spring, our body naturally wants to go into an overdrive state to get out there and do things to become productive.
Yeah, but it's deeper than that, Grim.
No, it is deeper.
We're
It's
responding to the genocide. We're responding to the anger, the
Yeah.
aggression. I mean,
So, in the natural cycle of things, when springtime hits and we're feeling this need to get out there to be productive, and we're driving ourselves, and then we couple it with all those things that are going on in the world today, the genocide, the politics that are going on, the social
weighs
movements,
heavy on empaths.
it's going to do one of two things. It's either going to spark people into this need to get out there and fight, or it's going to weigh people down or somewhere within that
And
spectrum.
and please, if you fall on the spectrum side of um, just wanting to hole up and not be out amongst people, don't consider what Grim just said, like the person that pushes on through is this warrior spirit, and you're just some little lanky thing laying at home hiding away. That is not what he's intending to illustrate right here. We're all on our own path. Remember your teacher used to talk about that bell curve. When you would take a test, there's always a bell curve. It's just a it's just a thing that happens. It's a trend that happens. There's always a few that get high marks on a test, few that get really low marks on a test, and in between, the rest of us are on that big bell, right? And the majority of folks right in the average in the middle of that bell. It's the same thing for our spiritual life. Some of us are a little farther along. We're a little farther along this side of the bell. Some of us are just starting the climb. Some of us are up here looking over the edge already.
And
There is no judgment about it.
And when we say further along, we're not saying that we're further along in some race or some destination that
No.
we're drawing closer to than somebody else, because each path is sovereign, it's personal. We're further along on our personal path, our own sovereign
Right.
search.
And I do say I believe that a lot of what we've been able to experience is because we are both, you know, I mean, we're still mother and father, but we're both, heavily leaning toward crone and sage at this point. And I think that with a lifetime of learning and understanding, um, I don't know. I don't know where
And
I was going with that.
JD says it's like chutes and ladders too. Sometimes we have to start over, and
Sometimes
that's
we
very
do.
true.
And it's interesting, JB, that you would say that, because that's actually been a topic of conversation recently about, at least, I don't think with Grimm, but it's come up recently in conversation with me a lot with folks, that they're having to reinvent themselves again. And how many times have we had that opportunity, and how many times have we done it? And how many times will we do so again? But this time, things feel different, don't they? This time, things feel like it's not just going to go in the status quo chute of averages.
The
I think
pipe dream.
I think it's going to somehow, things are going to manifest. Your ducks are lining up a little differently than they have in the past. So take advantage of this time, even though things might be weighing down on you. And trust me, we understand that. It feels like it's the theme that we've been discussing for the last 4 years, but so be it. We have to go through this darkness. We have to go through this this shadow. We have to move through this muck
We've been asking for it.
to sort out what we really want in front of us. And that is what we've been asking for. It's exactly what we've been asking for.
Collectively, when we say let those things don't no longer serve us be exposed and cast away, doesn't just mean those little things in our personal lives. It means collectively all of those energies universally that do not serve our greatest and highest good be exposed. And we're seeing that. That is the result of the masses saying we want to see the truth. We want to know what's out there.
We want the truth.
Now we're at a point where we see the truths and we get to decide how we're going to push back against those things that we wish to see
Also,
dissolved.
remembering though that only a portion of the world sees the truths.
Well, truth is subjective in so many ways.
That's true, but I'm saying we're not all still on the same level playing field.
Well, yeah,
We still have, countries that are, um, well, we don't need to get into that. But I think that pausing for peace, and it isn't just, peace that we're asking for. We're asking for harmony in the world. We're asking for, um,
peace is balance.
yeah.
It's the ebb and flow of a gentle tide.
And if you don't know what pause for peace is, which I think most of you do, but I know there were a few new names, pause for peace every night at 9 p.m. wherever you live. Um, Grim and I are in the Eastern Standard Time zone, but that doesn't mean you have to do it at that time. We pause what we're doing and we take a moment to basically, clear our energy space and do some reconnecting. Take your shoes off, sit down, close your eyes, refocus, do some, take some good deep breaths and bring in healing, positivity, bringing in, harmony and peace. And take what you need. I mean, take what you need. That's what this is all about. It isn't that you're keeping it all to yourself. You're taking what you need to be at peace and harmony and at that in that space of balance for yourself. And then as you breathe out, imagine that energy moving outward in a wave, away from you, outward into the world. That peace and loving harmony that you're finding within yourself moves out into the greater good, into the world beyond you, into your community, the people you love, people halfway across the world that you've never met that you know from the purple door. It touches all of us. It's vibrational energy. Don't discredit it. Don't think it's not worth anything or that it's just a bunch of hoo ha magic stuff, glitter and gold that Gussie's spewing here. It's real. All right, I'm going to pull a card. What do you say?
Sounds like a plan. I just need to type something here.
Okay, you type something because this card kind of popped out on its own here. Oh, isn't that wonderful? It's the World card. Couldn't be better. I mean, we just talked about, pausing for peace. And I'm surprised, honestly, that pause for peace hasn't caught on bigger and better than it should, or than it has. That's what I meant to say, than it has. Because we've been doing it for several years now. Honestly, I got the idea from another Purple Door witch who had gone through um, some health issues herself a while back. And at 9 p.m. every night for a while, her friends would pray for her. And that's where we got the idea of continuing that on at 9 p.m. Only we're praying for the world now. We're asking for peace and harmony and love. And there are some folks that go on the Purple Door at 9 p.m. diligently every day and write down what time they paused for peace. And I know that also doesn't seem like a big deal, but for those of us that are doing it, it helps to know that we're not alone.
And when you look at a big bucket of water that you're using to collect a drip, a drip, a drip, it may take a long time to fill that bucket, but it took a continuous, steady supply of energy to slowly fill it.
Right,
And when that bucket's full, then it overflows. We want our bucket to overflow with that peaceful, balancing
right.
energy.
We should have witches and pagans joining us all over the world at 9 p.m. wherever they live.
adding to that cauldron.
but the word is not getting out there yet. Susan is diligently sharing into the Purple Door, but you see, the Purple Door is a private group because we keep it that way on purpose. But Gus Ingram, we also have uh, you
Public side.
right, and Christy Reed is helping to share our Pause for Peace there. So please help share and get the word out. It couldn't be a better card for us today. It's the World card. You know, we took a little break from 420-ish tea and tarot. We took a little break from being online. We all took a step back and took a breather and basically assessed what it is that's going on in our lives. And it all comes back to we are one energy, we are one family. Whether we are cognizant with the ability to recognize that yet or not, I know that I still sometimes struggle with how can we be of one energy but yet I'm this sovereign spirit. Well, that is a good question, and we're going to be talking about that tonight at look at me dropping this at 7 p.m. We're going to do our first Monday of the month live stream, and we're going to share a little bit about our own personal what's been happening journey, and we're going to talk a little bit about what we just talked about is where does one start and another stop. The world card is our responsibility. It not only is our responsibility to share when we can, and remember, I know, so many of us are tired and we don't have that little extra oomph, but that's what it takes some days. It takes that little extra oomph to say, you know what, it's 9 p.m. It's 9:15. It's 9:23. I don't care what time. It's 10:15.
You know
But you're going
those
to pause and take a breather. The energy is there for you. You don't need to suck away from your own energy to give away. It's always around you.
Yeah, that's a big engine to keep carrying forward, to keep running smoothly. Peace.
It is.
And no matter how you translate that word, it's a heavy word.
It's a heavy word.
And when we're asking people to do that, to participate, it's like that old-fashioned Ford engine with the cranked front there on the front of the car. That's how you had to get the motor going.
Yeah.
The effort that it takes to start that engine is a lot. A person has to stand in front of that car and crank that thing over and get the thing going. But once it's going, the engine's running and it's moving forward. And that's what we are doing. Each one of us that says pausing at 9:05, pausing at 10:05, pausing at whatever time you are, you're adding your oomph to that crank to get that motor of peace humming.
You know, Graham, it just occurred to me that some people, I mean, that word peace comes with, it's kind of loaded,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I wonder if peace doesn't settle well with you, we're still going to call it pause for peace, but what if some of the words we say when we're like engaging in this, some people sit there for a few minutes and gain their composure and kind of find their balance within themselves and do some good deep breathing and kind of find that space, but others struggle a little bit. Others can't keep their focus and they get angry at themselves because they can't stay focused and their mind keeps wandering. Try focusing on the words patience and contentment. Because when you break it down, isn't that what peace comes down to? We're patient with one another and we're content with one another. We're patient and we're content. It is what it is right now. It's nothing more and nothing less. It is what it is. Patience and contentment. I don't know, that just it might sit better with you.
When you focus on those words too, don't just focus on them in your mind. Say them out loud. Chant them slowly. Patience and contentment. The reason behind that is those two words, that chant, patience and contentment, has been scientifically proven to the frequency, the harmonization of it is calming. It's relaxing.
It calms the human biorhythm.
Rhythm. Yeah. Patience and contentment.
Patience, but you have to say them out loud.
Hmm.
Patience and contentment. Listen to yourself say them.
Feel them. Feel yourself saying them.
Do this for yourself, for your family, do this for your community, do this for the world.
Speaking of which, Christy said she's had that card pop up for her like 4 times this week.
Oh, it doesn't surprise me then. I think that, um,
Fourth time this in several days.
well, then, you know what? We honor that world card because it definitely has a message for you. It definitely has a message for the group. And, the whole thing is don't think that you're just a small little nobody. Because yes, if you look down on the earth, we're smaller than an ant. If you were looking at earth from a different perspective, we're tiny, tiny little beings. Yet our vibrational energy, and I'm going to get into what we're talking about tonight, but our vibrational energy is what makes us big. When we bond together with other like-minded folks, other withstanding tribe folks, and we have a similar vibe, that vibe does have impact. And that's why I would love to see our pause for peace like emanate outward from the purple door outward into other witchy communities.
And what is the world other than a collective assortment of everything contained within this globe and what we can observe around it? That is our world, and we are a piece of that. It takes a piece of you to create the world that we see.
Because we're all interwoven like a mat, like a beautiful tapestry. It takes all of us to create this. So your energy is not insignificant. But when partnered with other people that have similar thoughts, desires, outcomes, anywho, I'm gonna close. I think. You know why, Grim? Because we're gonna do 7 o'clock tonight, and I
Yeah,
don't want to like.
give it all away.
Well, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want my energy to be expended. So, hey, y'all, I'm so glad you joined us. I know we didn't even read anybody's comments like we normally do. Any juicy ones out there?
Not really. Susan says that she posts Pause for Peace every night around 9 p.m., focusing on a different word. And then Christy from there, she takes that, moves it to the Gussie and Grim page, and that's where you can share it from. Share it to your personal walls. Start making it part of the daily algorithm that Pause for Peace goes out around the world. At any time you see it come across your feed, share it.
It's a good idea, Grimmer. Good idea. By the way, I also wanted to give a shout out to LJ, Aphod, Jane Husky, and there's one more person whose name I'm forgetting.
What about Callie?
But those folks have been really interacting a lot on the Purple Door while we've been taking a little bit of a breather. And our guild leaders, those of you that have kept your guilds going or kept some interaction in the Purple Door, we appreciate that. It takes a whole group of us to do this. It isn't just our project. We really count on our community, don't we? And this was
Well,
a good example of that.
that's read what Shelley wrote. That kind of sums it up, what you just said.
I can't read it. I don't have.
We're all part of the universal energy. You're at the center of your own world.
It's very true.
I
Very,
really
very
like
true.
that.
Yep, yep. All right, y'all. Anything else you want to read?
No,
Hi, Gigi. You're here. I see. That's good. That's good. Michelle Kleckler is here. Good to see you. I can barely read because I don't have my
Kimmy
glasses on.
King, Shelley, Chrissy Reed, Gigi,
Right. So those of you, I told you we were
Shannon
going to
Escher.
tell some personal stories about today. We're going to do that at 7 p.m. We've got some info to share, just some things that came up over the last couple of weeks that we thought you might find interesting. But we'll see you at 7 p.m. live. I hope you can join us. It's the first Monday of the month, and we will see you then. Stay magical.
Oh yeah, thank you, Christy. TikTok, Purple Door Key.
Thank you.
Stay magical.
Stay magical.